Hello and welcome to another SkaredCast Battle Report. Today I am playing Matt's 1850 point Nurgle Alpha Legion Chaos Space Marine army, and we are playing a Nova style mission. Let's begin. Deployment and armies. The mission is one objective in the center of each table quarter and one objective in the middle of the table. Now, in Nova missions, you can pick one of two primary objectives. Either capture the objectives at the end of the game for 3 points each for each objective held, or capture the objectives at the end of every game turn and accumulate points throughout the battle. I have picked capture objectives at the end of the game. I'll talk about that in the tactical corner. And Matt has picked the Maginot Line, so taking objectives at the beginning of each of his game turn or player movement phase, starting on turn 2. So I deployed first, and I deployed like this. The Spam Army of Doom. This is a tournament list, not something I would play friendly. And Matt deployed his beautiful looking Alpha Legion army all across the line. Now, his warlord trait is infiltrating, so he infiltrated melter guns with a rhino, he infiltrated a unit of spawn with a black mace lord, he infiltrated the bikers and the obliterators up here in order to counter deploy me and put two of the... So he's just ready to rush the Dark Eldar lines. I get to... That's right, Matt decides he's going to do that. I decide whether I want to go first or second. I would like to go first. Matt is going to try and seize the initiative to see if he can on camera. And he doesn't. We'll be back after Eldar, Dark Eldar, a turn 1. The Dark Eldar force moved up, got themselves into position. I'll talk about it more in the tactical corner. This Wave Serpent failed to do any damage to no hull point. Failed to do any damage to that Rhino with a Havoc launcher. 3 Venoms fired into those bikers, killed 3, and then the rest of my army pretty much shot into the Nurgle obliterators, killed 1, put 1 wound on another who failed his morale test, ran all the way down the building and is now rallied. And this Wave Serpent over here killed that Rhino, and the Plague Marines have disembarked. Moving on to Alpha Legion Nurgle Plague Marine Army of Doom, turn 1. The army moved up the line. Lots of shooting. Saw 2 Cavalite warriors from that unit eliminated. 1 Venom taking a hull point. 1 Venom exploded, losing 2 Cavalite warriors, and a Havoc launcher killing 4 out of 5, and 4 making the other Cavalite warrior fall back, so he's going to have trouble regrouping. Now, turn 2, Dark Eldar. We do have reserves to show up. So we have the War Walkers coming in, and we have the Vipers coming in, and the War Walkers will be outflanking. So we're going to be seeing... Oh, that's right, and we have the Rex as well. Haha, the Rex! I want to re-roll that one. And they don't come in, thanks to my Warlord trait. We'll be back. This flank moved back with support of the Vipers, firing. Saw this Mauler Fiend immobilized, and that Rhino shaken with 2 hull points taken off from the Serpent Shield, while an objective secure Venom has moved up to contest that objective, preventing Matt from gaining any points on his turn 2. In the center, I got lucky enough to kill both Mauler Fiend, the Terminator Obliterator with the Vipers, and all the bikes, the remaining bikes, with the 1 Venom, while the remaining shooting from this flank fired into the advancing spawn, killing 2 spawn from the unit, and the War Walkers have outflanked in this back corner, killing a Rhino, and then that Venom boosted up to prevent Matt from taking points from that objective, which does help me achieve a secondary point for killing 3 enemy units in 1 turn. And now we're moving on to Matt's turn 2. Will the Heldrake show up to help save the day. It doesn't. We'll be back after this. We had that, those units there kill that venom. We had that unit of Plague Marines back there fire and kill 3 of the Cavalite warriors who held. We had the spawn unit burst forth from the cathedral after defiling it, and multi-charge of venom and some Cavalite warriors murdering them. And then we had the Plague Marines back here murder that venom. So Matt, as well as myself, has also got a secondary point for killing 3 enemy units in 1 turn. And we're moving on to Dark Eldar, turn 3. So do my little racks come into the game? They do. I will try and prevent that from happening, and I don't. They do arrive after this. Racks moved up. I fired a lot of stuff all in the surrounding area into the remaining spawn and lord and killed them off. Shot a lot into that unit of Plague Marines, didn't kill anyone. And shot a lot into that unit of Plague Marines and killed 4 out of the unit and ignored that Maul Fiend. Just dwindling down, as now we shall see if the Heldrake graces us with its presence. It does. And now there'll be fiery death upon the Eldar and Dark Eldar forces. The Heldrake advanced. Vector struck the Vipers to no effect. This unit of Plague Marines fired into the Vipers to no effect as well. And then it flamed a 3-man Cavalite warrior unit, killing it. These Plague Marines moved up, charged into the Cavalites that were right here, murdering them in combat, while the Plague Marines back here fired a pair of melt guns at the Warwalkers and blew one sky high. Now we're moving on to Eldar, turn 4. It's starting to be the roundup of the game. We'll see what we can do, because so far the score is tied 4-4, as the Alpha Legion have scored 2 points this last round. So the Ravagers moved up the flank, fired a lot into the Plague Marines, but 2 of them survived, taking that objective. The Spirit Seer disembarked, and Psychic shrieked 3 out of the no longer unit of Plague Marines here, who then got shot by almost everything in this flank, finally bringing the last one down. The Vipers moved up and fired into the Heldrake, putting 2 hull points on it, which was very lucky for them. And this flank over here, we had the Dire Avengers move up, kill a model, and then the Wave Serpent move up to deny that objective, while the Warwalker has moved up to continue threatening the flank. So now we're moving on to Chaos Space Marines, turn 4. By the way, last turn, that Maul Fiend did indeed regain a hull point, but it's immobilized, so it's just raging at the fact that it cannot move anywhere. The Heldrake vector struck the racks that had moved up to get closer to the Heldrake. Make sure you check out the tactical corner as to why. Then it flamed the Dire Avengers, killing 4, and the one held and did not get burned by Soul Blaze, while these Plague Marines shot, did nothing, charged, did nothing. We'll put 1 hull point on the Wave Serpent, and then over here they shot into the Vipers and did nothing. So now we're moving on to Dark Eldar turn 5, could be the end of the game. The Warwalker moved back, the Dire Avenger moved up, the Wave Serpent and the Vipers all fired into this unit, killing 1 Plague Marine. Shot into the Heldrake with as many lances as I physically could to do no damage. Psychic Shriek from the Spirit Seer did not do anything against the unit, but he was finished off by the Dire Avengers and Wave Serpents, who finished him off, and the Venom flew up there, while I have a couple of units in line breaker position, just in case the game ends. We're moving on to Chaos Space Marine, turn 5. We had the Melter Bomb put another hull point on the Wave Serpent, and we had the Heldrake kill itself with Demon Forge. Took its last hull point off while exploding the Venom, the Raider, and killing the Rack, who's now falling off the table because his friend died, and he's on fire He's in flames. So Matt is going to see if this painful episode ends. And the game is over. The bloodshed can finally finish. So we'll be back with a post-game commentary and the count. The game has ended with a Dark Eldar and Eldar victory. It's 15 points, so 3 primary objectives for the Eldar and Dark Eldar at the end of the game. So that's 3 points apiece, because that was the primary I chose. I have Linebreaker for the Vipers, or the Warwalker, or the Wave Serpent. I have Warlord. I killed the Biker Lord. And I also killed 3 units in 1 game turn for the secondary point. Matt, on the other hand, killed 3 units for 2 points for that secondary. He then got 3 points over the course of the game with his cumulative objective points, which meant that he is sitting at 5 points, so 15 to 5. So now we'll go over to Matt and get a final game commentary. Matt.
Fun game. I know how it now feels to have a very fluffy, fun-doing list playing against an ultra-competitive list. I thought I was doing fairly well, but of course you know what to attack, and you crippled me, and well played. And I couldn't recover from it. So it was a great game. We had lots of fun. Some awesome dice rolling for both of us.
I know.
And I look forward to the rematch.
That's right. So thanks a lot for watching. Of course, check out the Tactical Corner after this, the Facebook page, that other stuff. Thanks for liking and subscribing. 3,000 plus subscribers. Stay tuned for a contest we're going to be doing, giveaway for the 10k and 10, and the just as a thank you for everybody for checking out the channel, liking, subscribing, and sharing the videos. Appreciate it. This is Skari, your grateful host, as always, from the Battle Bunker. Out. To another Tactical Corner. This is Skari. Now, the army I was playing against is Matt's beautifully painted Alpha Legion. Just look at it. Amazing. The army I was playing was, of course, my 1750 very competitive spam army of doom, and the link to the army description will be down below in the description. So the mission itself, I decided to go for end of game objectives because, as per my army, I could sacrifice units to stop him from gaining objectives, and I had the speed to be on objectives at the end of the game, and enough units to lose some things throughout the game and still have enough for the end. At the beginning of the game, I had to focus on his firepower and mobility, so I had to try and knock out the those big shooty things, and the Mauler-Fiends and the Rhinos. So I was able to knock out the Mauler-Fiends turn 2. That was very lucky, which meant the only thing that he had pushing into my objectives were the spawn. And, you know, focusing on the Rhinos really stopped him from being able to come to me and forced him in the backfield. Being able to focus fire on key units with most of my army meant that I was just able to pick apart the things that could do damage to me. And with the Heldrake not showing up until turn 4, that really helped my army stay alive and not have to deal with it for that much longer. Now, there's a couple of things that I did. I unloaded all my Cabalite warriors pretty much on turn 1, and that was just really to saturate the board with targets and really create speed bumps that he had to get through. So I was in layers. I was in layers of, you know, tiny little units, but layers here and there that he had to get through. I did move my racks up that one time, and I said I was going to talk about it, so that if the Heldrake flew, it could only fly over them to vector strike them, and couldn't use the flamer to flame them unless it went into hover mode, keeping them safe at least for another turn, unless he felt like sacrificing the Heldrake. Now, at the end of the game, I was able to get a key position. It was a victory for the Dark Eldar, and I'd love to hear your comments if you would have done anything differently.